always a new adventure.
There always is a new adventure, I've learned.
This is Sizzle, powered by Fit to Be Trained, coming to you from the Deep End Broadcasting Network studios here in the lovely Virginia Beach, Virginia, and the United States of America. Do you want to be part of the 30-day or 60-day transformation? Then contact Karen, aka Sizzle, on any of her social media platforms at Fit to Be Trained. Now here's your host of Sizzle, Karen Dougherty.
Yay! I'm anxious. I want to get started on this. So welcome back. Happy Friday. Friday is always a good day, a happy day of the week. And I'm glad we're doing these on Friday now, Steve.
Yes.
It's kind of like a part, like it gets me away from the week. Not that I mean, I love my job. The week was great. It was kind of a weird week, but it's kind of a nice way to kind of wind down and go, okay, I can relax. Because when I'm here, I'm not really thinking about anything else. And I've been excited to speak with my guest today. I've been doing good on the guests, people, getting people in here. I love doing solo shows, but I love having guests. And this one I've been trying to get for a little while. And it was kind of cool because it was one of those situations where I was just making friends literally on Instagram. And I tend to do that. Like I really do try to make friends, follow the people that I'm really into, and talk with them. But I had started the podcast, so I did slip in, hey, I would love to have you on the podcast. But it actually turned into where I got to talk with Joe like through time, and just having conversations about the silliest of things. I really wanted to know about fitness, and he owns a page called Retro Fitness Babes on Instagram. And people, it is fantastic. And if Steve was here right now, he'd put the clap thing on because it's really, really great. And you've probably heard me talk about it in the past because, like I said, I've been following this page for a while. And I knew what I had in common with this account was that they loved the 80s and the 90s and the retro fitness, which is where I was born into this fitness craze. I mean, I was 17 and 18 in 1984 when I got into this job and career. So I don't want to hog any more time from Joe, but I need people to know how much this account has meant to me. And I want you to know how much you personally have meant to me, because it kind of got my fire going. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've even gotten guests from this page, because so if you're interested in the 80s or 90s and want to look at fitness pictures from back then, that's what you do. And I don't want to take any more time away from Joe, but thank you so much, Joe, for being willing to come on and speak with me today. And yay, if Steve was here, he would do the clap thing, but he'll be back. He wanted to test out, make sure everything was coming out cool for both you and I. But how are you today, friend?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to finally talk about this a little bit. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you for reaching out and having me on the show today. It's gonna be a fun conversation.
I think so too, because I was going over my notes, and I wrote these quite a while back. So I was like, wow, these are good questions, and he didn't veto them. But always know, I want anybody that comes onto the show, and that's you included, to always feel comfortable. Don't answer anything you don't want to. You know what I mean? And I know that there is like a certain amount of anonymity. I've never been able to say that word, and I'm even in recovery. So I know how to say anonymous, but not to some things on Instagram. That's part of the allure. And before I keep going, do you have a Facebook page as well?
No, I don't. Not at
Okay.
the moment.
So this is strictly Instagram. And this is 80s and 90s. But why did you start this fantastic page?
Well, yeah, that's a tough one. Well, I'm a Gen X kid, so I was born in the 70s. I was a kid in the 80s and a teen and a young adult in the 90s. So that's like my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And for me, that was like a golden age of pop culture. And what I wanted to do was just kind of have like a little creative side hustle, side outlet, just to like to post stuff from that era. And I
Right.
thought about at first I thought about like just post funny movie quotes or maybe something sports related from those times. And I looked around and there were other pages that do that. And I kind of wanted to, I wanted mine to be like unique. And I was thinking outside the box and I thought about, what if I post like a babe of the day type thing from, just all the women from that era. And then I'm
Which
like,
was such a great era, not
yeah,
to
I
be
know.
a jerk, but it was. I mean, we're talking Farrah Fawcett,
Right.
the Charlie's Angels, because yeah, right. So fun. I'm in so far. Keep going.
Then I thought, well, I have these little VHS recordings and DVDs of old fitness videos that always caught my attention. I'm like, what if I kind of post a clip of that or post photos of that? And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. And
Oh my God, my heart. I
yeah,
love this.
yeah,
My heart. I like literally feel warm. Keep going.
yeah. I looked around. I thought about doing a Facebook page. I looked on. I started on Reddit actually. There is a Reddit page called Retro Fitness Babes. That's kind of where it started, and that was a few years ago. I can't remember exactly, but it kind of got started there. But then, and I still post there from time to time. But some people were encouraging me to try Instagram too, and I looked on Instagram and I'm like, there's not a page like this on here, so I'll just start up an Instagram page.
So you were strategic. You were strategic. You were mapping things out. How
Yeah.
long ago was this? Was it pre-COVID?
No, it wasn't pre-COVID. I want to say it was like
Wow, so it's fairly
2022 or
new.
2023 when I started the Reddit page. Maybe like 2022, maybe. I think.
And so it's only 4 years old. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like
it's
you have a lot of followers. You have 505, you have 500,000 followers, don't
yeah,
you?
north of 500,000 now. And
Oh my,
yeah, the
dude,
Instagram page.
that's
I only
amazing.
started putting a lot of work into it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I kind of started it and just kind of left it as is. Then I kind of I grew tired of Reddit a little bit. I'm just like, I want to
Right.
try a different audience, see how this works, and I'll just kind of wing it, see how it goes. I'll post on here occasionally, and yeah, that's kind of how
So
it started.
so how come you had these VHS workouts? Were they like cuz I had them too. That's how I started working out, and we didn't have a choice. Like you even had like Rachel McClish never did a video, but she was the first Miss Olympia. And I believe you even had her on the page a while ago. And whenever we talk, everybody that we're talking about. So like I worked out in the basement. I lived with two guys, my boyfriend Troy Vale and Bundy, Jared Driver in Minnesota. And we were kids, we were in our 20s, and I always worked out down in the basement with my little VHS videos. Did you have somebody nearby you? Like, is that why you had those videos? Because I don't want you, oh, look, I have your page right here. I don't want to give it away, like how you did anything. But you had these VH1 tapes and you knew to just clip, like people would be interested. And
yeah, well, like back in the day, like, I was becoming a teen, or, in my early days, like I always found these women attractive, obviously. I'm a I'm not gonna lie, and
absolutely.
I mean, I was going to say the same thing. In high school and college, you turn on ESPN at 6 a.m, and there's Corey Everson, followed up by Kiana, who I know, my love for Kiana.
I know, it's like you're not gonna...
like Steve loves Kiana. Yes.
Oh yeah.
We'd love to get Kiana on here. Yeah. So I love these girls too. I mean, I know I'm a girl, but I'm in too. I am in, because it was just a different time. And anybody that lived during that time, it wasn't in your face. Like there was a lot of sexuality in fitness. There was, I mean, but it was like almost by accident.
Yeah.
And it was innocent. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It was very innocent, right? You guys, like there was posters, they were on the wall you go into a men's, I was always in the auto business. Like I worked in body shops in the office and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was just the way it was, right? You try and explain our generation was a little different.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of what Steve was saying, ESPN was instrumental, like before internet and cell phones and all that. Like if you were a guy and you liked sports, you watched Sports Center. That was the only place you could see those highlights. And after Sports Center, it's usually a fitness show or something like that. So you got the best of both worlds. You get your sports fix, and then, you get to see women working out and stuff.
I love that you guys think women working out is hot.
Well, so I mean,
this is the best conversation.
Those shows produced like what the name Leanne Tweeden. If you don't know who that is, Karen.
Yes,
she became super famous from that show alone. I mean, she had a whole career in television and doing her own thing that sparked just from being the third workout buddy on Kiana's fitness show.
God, it
right?
was such a great time, you guys. I swear to God, I've chills. So that's why I couldn't wait for this podcast. I mean, not that my other guests don't give me chills, but this time, this era, I love the photography. I loved everything about that time. Okay, so I can't get stuck on that. I want to keep going. What we love most about the era, I think we've covered that. Whether you have a background in fitness photography, so you're pretty talented, let's face it. Okay, let's go. What attracted you to the firm videos? Because they were unique, you guys. Steve, do you know what the firm videos are?
I do not.
Okay, the firm videos were these girls working out, because you're used to Kiana and all the ES, but there would be girls outside. You're used to girls having the background outside too, right? Well, there was this company that put out firm videos, and you might even know more than I do about it, Joe, that but anyway, they were just in a studio, and it was like they made it like they were in a house or like a museum. It was kind of weird. It was unique, but the workouts were on point. Trainer wise, like fitness wise, they really were. If you were I wanted to build muscle, so they were into that. They incorporated more weights in their videos, where Tammy Lee was Buns of Steel. She did too. I can't take the weights away from her either, but you know what I'm saying. It was unique, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, the firm videos were, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, the women were beautiful on there. And they were just kind of made differently. Yeah, like with like
Yeah,
the aesthetics
aesthetics.
and
Yeah.
um, just
Art
having
wise
seen a
too.
lot. Yeah, having seen a lot of these videos, it's like they're just pretty straightforward. They're not chatty or I really don't know how to
No.
describe it. And one thing the
No,
firm
you're
did,
right.
one thing the firm did that kind of helps me out right now is they started off on VHS, but they transferred a lot of their stuff onto DVD. So I get like good video. I can upscale it and get good video quality from it. And
So cool. Like when you're doing yeah. So it does help that, like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't even know how to word that. Like technical
I don't
wise,
either.
it's better. Yeah. Because the technical piece I don't have as much, but I'm really interested in it and I love it. And I love art. And maybe that's what I liked about your page too. It's artsy in a way. Like
Yeah,
it's obvious that you like fitness. It's obvious that you like fitness girls. Yeah.
yeah,
And but it's not, it's artsy maybe because it's the 80s in a sense. I just like the aesthetics of your page, and I like that you're incorporating girls in there. Like, hey, look how got Rebecca. I got Rebecca. You might
mm,
not even know this. I got Rebecca from your page. I'm
yeah,
sure I told you. Isn't that great? Like
yeah.
you're
That
connecting people.
right. That's one of the coolest things about this all is like, I've met you, I met Rebecca. She's amazing. She's great. She's awesome. And
I
yeah,
love that
that's
studio she's working out in. Oh my
yeah,
God, it's so pretty.
I know. I
Isn't
know.
it
Yeah, yeah. She's
dreamy?
doing the Pilates thing and yeah.
My Pilates studio is in a garage. It doesn't look like Rebecca's. But Rebecca's a girly girl. She does good in that at those aesthetics where I am. I'm a girly girl in a way. Like it's kind of funny because if you look at some of old photography of me, I'm from that era. So even though I'm kind of a tomboy, you can dress me up and put the makeup on and I pass. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So there is a lot of that stuff too. And I idolized these girls, in a healthy way, in a completely healthy way. They inspired me. Monica Brandt was 90s.
mhm,
Corey Everson, Steve talked about she was more 80s, 90s. Well, really, she was 90s. I think she was like 92 winner of Olympia, but I could be wrong. But sorry, like I'm getting off track. And that's why I do these bullet points because I can go down a rabbit hole with this stuff. Tell me this, when the account started to grow, were you like, oh my gosh? Because it sounds like you were kind of like, let's see, just
yeah,
gonna have a good time and let's see. And look what you created.
yeah. It started off. I was gradually gaining followers. I was initially hoping just to have like, I don't know, just thought it'd be fun if we had a few thousand followers and
Mhm.
just a small community. And then I, for some reason, I want to say it was at the end of 2024, it just started taking off. I must have tapped into the algorithm or something. And
You
there were,
think?
yeah, there were a few
When
posts
did
that
you start getting the fitness stars following you? About that time?
probably about that time too. There were a few before that because I would tag them in some of the pics or videos, and they'd follow back. And but yeah, towards the end of like 2024, a few of those videos went viral. Like that one pinned on the top left of my page, Jennifer Carmen. I think that's my
I'm
highest.
going in. I'm going
Yeah,
in.
so
I
you'll check
love
it.
this page. I love this page. Oh, look, it opens right up to you. It's so annoying, right? Cindy Crawford.
That one
um,
got, I have no idea how, but that one got like 12 million views. And that one really took off for some reason. And uh,
I mean,
it,
I
it kind of
lost you.
piggybacked off of that, started to pick up momentum. And Yeah.
Well, Susan Harris is the third one pinned. I used to do that video all the time. And it's so funny because I can picture the rooms that I did that video in. It was like it was for a while. She has one of my favorite ones because she's teeny weeny, probably a dancer, and
Mhm.
her workout is so good, and her articulation and her So the first one is what you're talking about, right? That's the one that went viral.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's the one that really got the page going. Like
Really?
there were
And that's
weekends
firm.
there were weekends I gave like 8,000, 10,000 followers or something. I was like, what the heck is happening?
I wonder if there was that many people that because I loved the firm videos and I know
Yeah,
what I'm doing. Like I'm a kind of a badass, and maybe there's a bunch of badass girls out there that are like, "Yep, these are good videos."
yeah,
I mean, they really cover your body and they made it like right now they're bunny hopping. Like I forget to do stuff like that.
yeah,
And like you think bunny hopping, and granted, look, the guys are like, yeah, don't forget to do that.
yeah.
But I
The
mean,
first,
it's just so good. They would give us a banging body, these videos.
yeah,
That's another thing.
the firm videos just get the most views. It seems like I don't know what it is about them, but I'm happy to post them. I
Are
enjoy doing
most
it.
of your followers, are you pretty equal in followers being men and women?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. At first, when I started, I figured, guys like me will follow this, and
Right.
maybe some women will. And um, as it's gone on, like when that growth started happening, it, like as of right now, like 72% of my followers are women. So they're the ones who are driving the growth here and making this page happen. And you know, I'm a guy, but it's like this is my audience apparently. So, you know,
And that surprised you. Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool.
And I guess it
Uh,
shouldn't surprise me, but that's where we're at right now. It's almost
no,
three
it,
quarters
it
women.
it makes me excited as another fitness trainer because I bet you a lot of them, you have a lot of you have a lot of me's following you,
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
lot of female
Mhm.
women in the industry or used to be in the industry because there's a lot of us that go in, and it's a part-time job and they get married or whatever, and or their other career takes over because this sometimes is a second job too.
Mhm.
You'll notice too a lot of competitors go on to do different things, but they're seeing this stuff and probably going, "Oh my gosh." And yeah, it's just I'm getting caught up on the page, so I got to stop it. I got to keep talking to you. I got you here right now. What does the community mean to you, and how you? It kind of sounds silly because we really just basically covered that. What the community means to you, and what you hope people feel when they visit your page. So obviously you're hoping that you bring happiness, but it is cool. Were you surprised about how are you still probably surprised?
Yeah. I am surprised. And uh, gosh, the community, it's opened the doors to meeting just random people, which I was get a kick out of. You never know who's going to message you or, um, tell you, "Hey, you inspired me to do this," or, we're going to do a retro themed class at our studio on, Thursday night or something. And hearing stuff like that just, warms my
Oh,
heart. It's like,
I'm so,
I can't
I
believe it.
bet. I'm like, you lucky duck. That's
I know.
awesome. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy that I found you, because look at our random friendship. Like sometimes we're talking about construction. We're not even talking about fitness.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you when I was in Charleston. I don't even know that we mentioned fitness. Like it really, yeah, like that. I do love that about the internet, but I've always been that kind of person. Like I will reach out to people, or when I travel, I'm really interested in the people because I think the place is cool. So I bet the people I'm interested. I just like people. And I like when coming across your page, there was no way that I wasn't going to say, hey, this is freaking, it's just so awesome. And in so many ways, like I just mentioned, like art wise too. Any memorable interactions. Oh God, sorry, y'all.
You're okay.
I'm not drunk. Any memorable interactions or messages that you've received?
Yeah. Just hearing from the women in these videos, anytime that happens, it's a trip, like when like Denise Austin tells you thank you, or
God, you're so lucky.
yeah, or
Oh.
Tammy Lee Webb says something, or I talked to Shauna Jebbia from Co-ed Training on ESPN. We talk back and forth, Tiana Tom, she's hit me up, just saying, "Oh, thank you for posting that." And
you're so lucky. And
yeah.
here's me on their DMs, like begging, oh, can you please? Because me, I ain't too proud to beg. Sometimes I think that'll put me different from the rest. They're all trying to go in professionally. But that is so cool. Like I'm jealous in a healthy way, if there's a such thing.
Yeah. In the page, you were asking what you want people to feel when they see it. I've noticed, like, I talked about starting a sports page where I post old clips of, old sporting events or athletes. And like from a guy's perspective, I might see a clip of Bo Jackson and just have good memories. But I've noticed with my followers being over 70% women, a lot of them view these girls from these videos in the same way I would view, Mike Tyson or Michael Jordan or something. It's like these are sort of the fitness and sports inspirations, and that's another thing I kind of noticed about all this too. I just wanted to add that as well.
That's cool, and I appreciate you adding that, because that is exactly it. They're like icons to us, and a lot of them, like Susan Harris, that third pin that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many households she worked out with me in, and she's just she was a VHS too. Like that's a long time ago. And Kathy Friedrich, she was another one. Kathy Smith was one of my favorites. Like these are iconic girls, and they are like just regular girls to you guys, and it makes you realize too how it's nice to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be appreciated, and I think that's what this page does too.
Yeah,
it validates that what their job was, meaning that they're because sometimes somebody might be like, well, I know what I want to say. A lot of times we're not taken seriously.
mm-hmm.
Fitness girls are not usually, well, maybe more nowadays, but we kind of weren't. And this kind of helps us remember. It was really fun too back then too, I might add. It was just really fun because, and let me tell you why, because there was a bit of essence of sexuality there too. Like, I don't know how to say that. It's really, it has changed through the years very much. How like CrossFit came in, and I'm part of CrossFit, but everything is more athletic, more inclusive, we should say. because sometimes I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing because it might sound negative and I don't want it to sound negative. So I'm going to weave out of that one and move on. But it's just different times, different aesthetics. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's like you look back on that era and like that was the first time maybe people saw women in that way. Saw, seeing their strength
Or
seeing
like
their
on
confidence.
ESPN. Yeah, right. Like that they were allowed to be strong.
Yeah, and
Because
um, and going back through all that stuff, like when I see these videos, you kind of understand like what works and what didn't. It was almost like a proving grounds to fitness all around, like because before that, you know, fitness wasn't in your home really. Now with the VCRs, cable television, you could do it in your home now, and that kind of changed everything, I think, in the fitness industry. So it's kind of
I appreciate you saying that.
yeah,
Yeah, because my
it's part of
first
the
business
evolution. And
was called,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
it was
it's
called
kind of
Homebody
historic.
Fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I lived in Minnesota. I lived in Minneapolis, and it was called Homebody Fitness because it was for girls. Like the gym used to be very intimidating, and it still is for a lot of people. I mean, that doesn't change how people can feel uncomfortable walking into a gym. So you're right. It was an evolution in a sense because you could stay home and exercise and not have to go to the gym, and even maybe the trainer or the instructor was at a gym, you could feel that. So you're right, it was a complete evolution. And I opened that business because I wanted to go to people's homes and make them feel comfortable with working out in case they didn't feel comfortable in a gym yet. And then maybe they could work their way there, or because of VH1 or trainer or me coming to their house, because that was new too. I feel like I kind of came in and I just did it by accident because I lived in Minnesota and I wasn't from there. And I was like, man, it's cold here. I bet you a lot of people don't want to go out.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I started my business kind of like you. I just stumbled in on I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
this works. And just like your page. And I want to say, what has it been like making friendships on the social media? And I do feel like you're a friend, Joe. You're one of my um tech friends,
Yeah,
somebody that I get to talk to when I'm online. And my personal life has been so like lately, and it's getting ready to slow down. And I don't, when I say personal life, I don't even mean in a bad way. It's just been a lot of stuff outside of work has just been going on, and I haven't been online as much. So I just am going to get to start. Even you can tell by my posting has been down. I haven't been able to post that much. I haven't been on to interact with anybody, and looking forward to getting back. Trying to get guests on the podcast forces me to interact, and because sometimes I get shy too. And we've talked, like, I'm a little bit introverted. I know that sounds shocking, but I can get a little bit out of practice and get shy. So I kind of got to get back into the tech world and start talking to people and asking people. And when people say yes, it helps give me the confidence to keep going. And I love having guests on the show because I think it keeps the show interesting, you know. What helped you feel comfortable saying yes to the podcast, if you don't mind me asking?
yeah, no problem. I I well, I've listened to your podcast, and I'm like, yeah, she does a good job. You do a good job on here. I enjoy listening to your podcast on a weekly basis. But kind of since the page grew, I decided to, like, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit more visible this year. I mean, I'm not going to jump on camera all the time, or, you know, but I think it was about time to maybe just talk about the, the behind the scenes of like how this page got started. And you were the first person that asked me to be on a podcast, surprisingly. So I'm like, if I ever do it, Karen's going to get first dibs. So
Man.
I
Steve's here.
So
Yay.
yeah, Karen and Steve get first dibs. So I decided, I'll hit her up and I'm going to come on here. And yeah, I'm really happy we could make it work. It's I've never done a podcast before, so there's a first for me. So
will you post a story to your Instagram with the YouTube link for this podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
great.
they all are generous with doing that, and I appreciate that so much because I've been growing too, not at a rate at Retro Fitness Babes, but I appreciate all the support and I think that's what we're doing, kind of both you and I, is building a community of people that are just into it, because we're not out for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like you said, you were like, I just kind of want to do a side hustle, just kind of play around, have some fun. Because I think tech is really cool, with YouTube and all the different platforms. I personally am going to start snooping around on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very serious. And I thought about just to literally just play around and actually talk about this podcast more, because that's been making LinkedIn interesting for me rather than the fitness part, because I'm interested in talking to other people that are in this sort of environment. And in the tech part of things, because I find that interesting as well. But I appreciate you so much agreeing to come on this podcast, because it gives me confidence in, okay, yes, I want people to know that they're safe in so many ways, and even that it's simple and it's quick. It's I don't even have time to dig too deep, and I personally am just starting to open up more and more about who I am. So I appreciate how you said that, like, you're like, I think I'm going to just start to become more visible. But I guess, like anybody would say to anybody, only do what you feel comfortable doing, and because I was thinking that too, like, I keep it pretty much wellness, but I live the wellness and fitness lifestyle. So I want people to know that I have bumps and I have struggles, and so it's more authentic and people can feel more comfortable to talk about things that are still part of the industry. And you have become almost a happy accident in how you've become so inspirational for us in the industry. I love that. What okay, this is sometimes I want to skip questions and then I regret it. What you hope people remember about the VHS fitness era?
Yeah, like I was saying, I feel like it was a golden age of pop culture, and this was part of it. And
Yeah,
I
definitely.
this is where I feel like fitness really started to boom. And I think it's important to know, like, I enjoy history too. So to know where you're going, you have to know where you've been. And I think looking back on this stuff, it's some people have never seen it. Like this younger generation of women, they've never seen this stuff, and they're like, "That's how they did it," And it's like, yeah, this is how it was back then, kind of. And You know, they
I think for people like us, it's just simpler times and easier
right.
times.
That's it.
It's a time that we kind of all wish we could, if we could travel in time, go back to once in a while to escape the craziness of the current world,
Mhm.
the overabundance of various media out there, social media, regular media, distorted facts, in a lot of cases, the pushing of agendas in other cases, and everything was just more wholesome and genuine back then, and just easy going. I mean, you see these older videos of these kids in high school and stuff like that, and they're all talking, they're all laughing, like the class of 1986, right? So it's just simpler, easier times, and that was part of it. I mean, going to the video store and picking out a VHS movie, or on a Friday or Saturday night, and taking it back home and popping your popcorn in your microwave, which was um, the revolution of its time back then, and it just things were just much more simpler. In this more complicated world that we live in, I just think, people like me, you, and Karen, Joe, kind of wish we could kind of step back into time sometimes and take it all back in and appreciate it more, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. That's well said. It's like I was saying when I wanted to start the page, I was just thinking of like, it's all nostalgia based, I guess, at its core, but yeah, just remembering easier times and, just appreciating that time in the world where, we weren't connected to our phones all the time, and you could, you could be anonymous a little bit and just chill out. It's just a different world, but yeah, that was well said.
I know it really was. Because I do, that's what that page represents to me. It does. It brings me back to a simpler time. Because you know how they say if you smell a certain perfume, it can bring you back, a certain smell. I didn't even mean to narrow it down to perfume. It could be smell of a campfire or something. And that page does that similar in visual, just brings me back to a time, and it's an escape. And I really appreciated how you said these young girls haven't seen this, and you are showing them that. And I'm into Pilates, and there's a page for that too, because Joseph came in the 20s. And I love how you said, if you want to know where you're going, it's good to know where you've been. And that gives you an opportunity and us to pass the baton to the next generation, so they can see, like, this is how it was for us. And they were really cute outfits and stuff like that, and the girls are like, oh wow, it's so, and their era is cool too. And it's time for somebody like me, especially. I'm 60 this year, so I can teach Pilates to the end. Fitness is a little different. I am kind of passing the baton. I'm not doing burpees, handing out burpees to my clients. I sometimes still have to do them, but that's a choice. That's not necessary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much history in the passing of the baton to someone like Rebecca, how she was so much younger. And that was such a good podcast, because at first I was like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? And it was like nonstop because of the her being able to see how things started.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you doing that. So there was so many, I think of the mothership, and all the little things that added on, like Retro Fitness Babes. All that was supposed to be was, us to enjoy some visuals, and look what happened. All different things came out of it, And I love how you even said how you started out where it was just going to be, you know, a couple thousand, because then there is some intimacy on a smaller page, you know, but it grew so much. And what that says to me, though, that there's a lot of fitness professionals out there. It's a big industry. It really is. And I think it's getting bigger. And so many people are really getting interested in fitness and getting moving, and you're showing them where it came from. So I won't keep repeating myself. I want to keep you. I want to keep you right here. But I did get through the page, and that's a great way we can close out unless there's anything you have to say. I do have at the last thing, what's next for Retro? Is there anything next? Or are you just going to keep just being you and seeing where it goes?
Yeah, I just hope the page keeps growing and people are enjoying what I post. Sometimes I don't know what to post and I'm just winging it. And you never know what's going to take off or what, you know, people might want to see. Yeah, I just hope it's another good year. I'm happy to be over 500,000. It's kind of crazy. Like anytime I post something, it's going out to like 5 football stadiums full of people. So, and I think it'd be cool if there was some merchandise. I don't have anything planned, but yeah, if there was a little shop you could buy, like, I don't know, some accessories or something if people want to. But
I think you're right. That I wasn't sure how, like, what you could do to better Retro Fitness Babes, and you almost don't want to mess with it. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't, what is that? There's so many old sayings for that if it's not broken, don't fix it, friend.
Exactly.
You're doing so good. You're so inspirational. Don't, you know, I was thinking that with our pages too, like, don't be afraid to rerun things because there's always new people coming on. And some of the old content that I have from years ago is so good because before I let you go, think about how it's changed so much where, like, years ago, I always felt like I had to have fake eyelashes on, a spray tan, be almost like a fitness model to be on Instagram because everything was like that one shot. And now people are really going for authenticity. So I'm like, whew, I get to go online like me because a lot of time I do happen to have makeup on today, but I often most of the time don't. And you've seen me without makeup because you've seen me online. So I like showing both. But what's cool about my page a couple years ago is everything's like so professional looking and almost because it was Instagram itself was different back then. And I thought, man, I got some good material from back here, you know. And I've even talked to chat, like, can I redo it? Instagram is fine with, you know, you change a little bit and rerun it. And now back then they didn't even have reels. So I thought about that. I was like, okay, if I don't want to fix it, it ain't broke. I just keep rerunning old stuff because that is new again.
Yes.
Do I make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have plenty of stuff I can post, but I have thought about, like, since I have all those new followers, like just maybe going back and then reposting some of that stuff way from a few years ago that maybe people haven't seen that's buried at the bottom of the page right now. So yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm glad we're having this conversation because I do respect you as a technical person as well. And yeah, that kind of, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Or I remember having photos that I was like, oh, they're not that good. And then I look at them a year later and I'm like, God, that's a really good photo. Like you get less critical art wise of your stuff too, you know, because I can get caught up in for perfectionism and stuff like that. And I've talked about that through podcasts too. But yeah, I'm trying not to let that, because right now the world wants authenticity anyway. So I was thinking, I'm just going to rerun things, add in a little spice, because right now you are doing a lot of live things too, where girls are copying the older video. Do you know what I'm saying, with the split screen? That's kind of cool. I take it girls are sending stuff into you.
Yeah, it's random. I'll just get hit up for a collaboration, and they're doing they're doing like the Susan Harris clip or something.
Exactly. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool seeing them doing it. They're like, they find out how hard it really is. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's not like challenging. It's like it worked for a reason, And
I saw one a while ago. It was cool because it was a woman my age, and she was probably actually a little bit younger than me, and her daughter was a very big influencer. And I ended up following them through a post on Retro because they were doing some of the retro stuff. And it was cool because the mom was like, we had it. This is what we did, and it was cool because she was literally showing her daughter, and her daughter was like, not only is this fun, it's challenging. Because a lot of times we wouldn't get taken seriously because it looked like it was so fun. It'll kick your butt. It'll kick your butt. So yeah, like when I said that, when we weren't taken seriously, I didn't want it to sound like a negative. It's fun to let people see, like, I know it's a cute outfit. The room looks good, the aesthetics are good, but so is the workout.
When we get down to it, it's like a lot of stuff worked back then,
Yes.
It's a human body when it all comes down to it. It's it's working out.
Exactly. Well, I can't thank you enough for being on. I've already gone over, and I appreciate you taking your time out and spending it with me and Steve this afternoon. And I can go blah 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 and gush on, but let's do this again in the near future if you'd like. And I again, thank you so much for allowing me to be your podcast first. Break the bubble.
There we go. Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
I definitely love to come back on again. And thank you so much for having me on, and just talking to me and letting me explain what the page is all about. Like the best I can do it, I guess. But it was a good time. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Joe. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
It's the weekend. I like that we're doing this on Fridays now.
All right.
That was great. That was a great conversation. I knew it was going to be. I knew it.
Oh, yeah, he was fantastic. All right, Sizzle. Good job.
That's cool that we were first.
Yep.
That makes me feel good. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you.
All right, everyone, have a good weekend. Thank you.
What a Mary, what a night.